And we are backstage right now. We are getting ready for our latest and greatest episode here of AbilityMKE Now. And getting all my settings in place. We've got about 20 seconds here and we will begin. So stand by. Welcome to AbilityMKE Now. My name is Sue Roskoff. Here at AbilityMKE Now, we are a show all about integration, bringing people with disabilities and people that don't have a disability together, enjoying life here in the Milwaukee area. We all have different abilities, and here at AbilityMKE Now, we dive into this topic of diverse abilities. The concept of disability hits a wide range of possibilities. We could be talking about physical or mental disabilities, the deaf and hard of hearing community, blindness, chronic pain, mental health diagnosis, goals of substance use reduction, and the list goes on. We all have our own experience with disability, whether it's our own, with people we know, or with people we encounter in our daily lives. Here at AbilityMKE Now, we break down the barriers and celebrate the ability in all of us. I am pleased as always to bring in our wonderful co-host, Miss Denise Vargas. Welcome. How are you this evening?
I am doing fabulous. At least that's what I'm telling myself, because talking about chronic pain, yeah, I've had a little bit of that going on for the past week, but we're just going to ignore it today. We're going to have fun because we have an amazing guest today. So let's get the show on the road.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I am so happy to be able to introduce Fraser Newcomb to the show. So Fraser is a musician and comes to us from Nova Scotia. So Fraser, welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad to have you here. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. It's a pleasure to be here.
Excellent. Well, tell us a little bit more about you. Who is Fraser?
Well, I was born and brought up in Nova Scotia, in Canada, that is, of course. And I've been in the service, and we've done a lot, and we were brought up as kids. There was 9 of us in our family, and there were 6 girls and 3 boys. And we worked, and we were a poor family back then, like everybody else was around us also. We just lived down here in the country. It's a little fishing village, and with, of course, lumber industry. And I worked in both of them. I was a fisherman for a while, and then after I got a little bit older, I joined the Navy, and I was in the Navy for 5 years. I spent in the Navy, and sailed all over the world. And back again, and then I thought the pasture was greener on the outside, so I got out. Well, I found different that it probably is not as green as I thought it was. But anyway, we did quite well. And then I went to work in the lumber industry, and then I built houses, and then I incorporated my own company, and I still have it today. And then I got into music. Well, music was in the family at a very young age. And my mother played multi-organ and sang, and my father was a singer and step dancer. Jimmy Rogers was his favorite back in the day. And not like it is today, of course. There was no such thing as social media like there is now. But we used to have an old battery radio, and no electric lights when I was, 5, 6, 7 years old. We had no power then. We done our lessons by lamplight. And I can imagine the kids doing that today.
That's what I was just thinking.
I don't think that would happen at all. They probably think I'm too old.
You've got experience to share.
Oh, I've got a little bit. Yeah, I've been down the road and up, I've been around the corner and back again. And so then when I got out of the Navy, we were supposed to have a family reunion, but we couldn't afford a band, of course. So my sister, she played the banjo and guitar and sang, and my brother-in-law, he played the fiddle, and my nephew played the drums. So we formed our own band to have this family reunion, and it went over quite well. So we did that, but after that, when I met my wife, then for Christmas she gave me a recording. Well, I didn't think that, in no way that I'm going to do a recording. I wasn't good enough for that for sure. But she insisted, and she made the appointment, and I did it. Mind you, I was nervous, but it turned out good. And now I'm on number 15. so,
Oh, excellent.
so then we played a lot of music around for the local halls and dances and stuff like that, and for people their houses burned down, for benefits we call them, and we've done a lot of that for them, for the people, and they all appreciate it, of course. And today, and then I started traveling, and we met I met my bass player and I. Well, we traveled all down through the states 2 or 3 times now. We were down in Kentucky, Somerset, Kentucky. We played in Branson. We played in Nashville. We played all over the place, and we did quite well. And of course, we played in Canada, and recent last year we were over in Europe, and we played in France on the Utah beach of France. I wrote a song called "My Tribute to Veterans," and I debuted that on the Utah beach of France. So
Wow.
we had my picture taken with the mayor there and all that good stuff. And we played Scotland and Ireland. We played in England. We played all the I'm sure the castles. It was a real experience. I really enjoyed it. And then, of course,
Amazing.
yeah. Then that was through Rise Up TV and Big Records. Of course, they were with me. I joined them, and then like I said, I wrote a song about Hank Snow, and I don't know if you ever tell Hank Snow or not, but most people did. Hank Snow was a living legend for sure, and he was as big as Johnny Cash or any of those. So, and he was from Nova Scotia. Actually, my father played guitar with him.
Oh
And
my goodness.
oh yeah, it's and he lives not he used to live not too far from here. He's gone now, of course. So and when I one day when I was in my shed out there, I call it my shed. It's my studio. Some people call it. I call it shed. Anyway, so I just happened to look up on the shelf, and there was the old battery radio that my father had. We used to listen to when we were kids. We'd gather around this old battery radio on Saturday night, and we would listen to WWVA, Wheeling, West Virginia. It used to come through, and you'd hear all the old folks, and Hank Snow used to be on that.
Mhm.
And just that night, for some reason, it came to me to write a song. So I wrote the song called my tribute to Hank Snow, called Hank Snow and the Battery Radio. Well, that's being played all across Europe. It's been on the pip parade and here and there and everywhere. And I was surprised, really. But it brings back old memories. So then I went on to write. I don't know if you heard tell of Boxcar Willie.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
I wrote a tribute song to Boxcar Willie, and I just recently wrote one after George Jones passed. I wrote another tribute song to George Jones. So I must have written, I guess, 50 or 60 songs. I don't know. I recorded quite a few, and some of them are in the garbage, and some of them are in a box. They're all over. So, but it was really it's a hobby of mine. I mean, don't do it for a living, because if you did it for a living, I'd be pretty hungry. so,
Being a musician is a hard life. It's amazing the creativity and the talent that it takes to be a musician is amazing. And that you've been able to do that it sounds like for a lot of years here you've had the pleasure of doing that.
oh, I've had half a dozen bands, different bands. We had a family band there, like I mentioned there. We had that for years. That was good. And but yeah, to get a band and go on the road with the band is pretty strenuous sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
Now I do a lot, just me and my drummer and my bass player. We do three of us. We travel quite a bit, and that's how we do a lot because the 5-piece band, the 6-piece band, that's taboo anymore now. You know, really, because you're number one, you can't afford it to go on the road today because it takes a lot of money to stay in hotels and food and gas, especially. The prices of things today have just gone beyond. We all know that. So this is, there's just a lot of things I've over the years, like, and I've had a lot of help with it. And then I met up with Jay at the Disability Channel, and I guess this is the reason why we're talking here tonight, probably. And he's a real good guy, and he's him and Mark Rossner. They're good people, and they do a lot. They do a lot for country music, and this is what I do. I also 2 or 3 years in a row, I took 15 artists from here down to Pigeon Forge to the NACME, the North American Country Music Awards show, and that went over really well. And I was inducted into the Hall of Fame down there.
Oh
In
my goodness.
Pigeon Forge. So that's a couple of years ago. And then just before COVID set in, I had a busload going down from here. And COVID set in the day before we were supposed to leave. They shut the border down.
Oh, terrible timing.
Now that was a real thing, trying to get everybody's money back to them and all that. It was worse trying to get it back than it was getting it in the first place. So, but those are all experiences that you don't want to have. So, and this year we're going back down there to the NACME Awards, and I've got about 15 artists going again this year. And I try to engage the young artists. We've got 2 or 3 young ones, and they're quite good. And we got some young girls, and and then some of the older folk also, like myself. And then so we're going down there again. And that's in March. That takes place in March 15th, somewhere around there. And that's going to be a good. We always have a good time down there. Last time we were down there, we were partying, and and we all come. Most of us come back with an award anyway. So, and then especially when I didn't expect to be inducted into the Hall of Fame down there. That was a real eye opener, one might say.
That's amazing. That's congratulations for that honor. That is fabulous.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So, and I'd like to get back do another tour down to the States again, and then we were up in McMinnville with another guy up there, and we like to get down there again. I want another tour or two down through there because we had a good time, and then I had a creation, a lobster guitar. The guitar made like a lobster. If you go on YouTube, if you Google up Fraser Newcomb YouTube, you'll see it there. It's anyway. So that was a big story behind that one also. So we were doing this television show in up the line up in New Brunswick, another county, and the guy there, he was a real jokester to start with, and so we were and he had this guitar there. It was a beautiful guitar. And so I said, where did you get that made at? So he said, a buddy of mine, he said, down in Moncton, he said, make this for me. I said, well, I want one made. But I said, not like that. I said, I want one made like a lobster. And he kind of looked at me and thought I was some kind of a nut. So
you knew what you wanted.
So anyway, he said, well, go see him. So he gave me his address and that. And I went down to see this guy. He was 80 years old. And I said, I want a guitar. He said, in his shop, he said, there's all kinds of guitars here. Pick up what you want. I said, no. I said, well, I want one different. I said, you're the Luther. I said, can you make me one? I said, shaped like a lobster. But he kind of looked at me, and my bass player was with me. So we talked a while. I said, okay, I'll leave it with you. So a month later, we were going back doing another TV show, and we stopped in to see him again. And I said, how'd you make out? He looked at me again. He said, you were serious, weren't you? He said, I got that guy up the line. He said, that jokester up the line sent you here for a joke. I said, no. I said, I'm serious. I said, I want it. Well, he said, tell me what you want. I said, you're the Luther. You make it and tell me how much it is. So about 2 months later, we were doing a show up close by him. So he called me. He said, your guitar's ready. I said, okay. I said, I'll pick it up. Like what? So I went up and we went to the show, and he brought it to the show with him. Well, I said, okay, thank you. I'll put it in the car. No, he says, you got to play it here on the show. He said, or you're not getting it.
Oh my goodness. And how was it?
I never played it. I said, I don't know what it plays like. I said, I can't play it here. He said, it's good. Play it. He said, and then he said, we'll settle out. So I did. I played it, a few songs with it, and the crowd went crazy. And the matter of fact, after the show, I stood in the line there for about an hour and a half. They were taking pictures of me in this lobster guitar. So and I was wanting to get out of there and get home. And they were signing autographs, all that stuff. So anyway, that's the story on the lobster guitar. So I took it through a few shows, and it is a crowd pleaser, I have to say. I don't bring it out. And now I don't take it to every show. They ask me, where's the guitar? I say, well, the lobster season is closed. So I you can't have it. So anyway, but that's the story on the lobster guitar. So when you go on YouTube and you have a look at it, you'll see it. And
I will definitely be looking that up.
it's quite a something anyway.
I have never heard of a lobster guitar, so that's fabulous.
It's the only one before I found this old guy to make it, I went on the internet and I tried everywhere in the world to find someone to make me one, and they all thought I was a little cuckoo. So, anyway, but anyway, I found this old guy, and unfortunately, he's gone now. But anyway,
legend continues, though.
Oh yeah, it's a landmark for sure. It's one of a kind, and I look after it. And but anyway, I don't take it to every show. I take it. It's just people have stopped at my house. They come to see it. People have.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, they where's that guitar at? So I'll take them. I'll show it to them. I'll think of that. They're pleased with it. But anyway, there's lots of stuff going on now. We're getting ready now. I want to try to do a tour across Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And next summer, probably I'll go down in the States. Maybe even go down your way. So I don't know.
That would be fantastic.
Well, we should keep in touch. Maybe we can arrange something, get something going. Who knows? You got the radio station there. Maybe we can. Who knows?
Who knows? This is the Milwaukee area knows how to have music festivals. We know how to have ethnic festivals. There's the Summerfest grounds at the Henry Meyer Festival Park. There's so many amazing opportunities in this area. Milwaukee's a pretty neat area for that.
Well, that's good. When is the best time for something?
Every weekend, all summer long.
Anytime during the summer. So a festival. I'd like to attend some of the festivals. So yes. I'll be in touch with you to get something going there, maybe, if we can.
Yeah. So, what was the connection originally that you and Jay had here with the Disability Channel? How did you guys end up connecting?
Well, it was through Big Records.
Big Records. Okay.
I was a member of Big Records for a number of years now, and then Mark called me and then he told me he was going to get on with the Disability Channel, or whatever. Mm-hmm. I said, well, that's fantastic. I said, we talked for a while back and forth. And then he said, I'm going to introduce you to Jay. So he introduced me to Jay, and Jay and I got talking. And Jay, he's right there. Mm-hmm. So anyway, and then the first thing I knew that I was doing interviews with Jay and all his associates. So
Excellent.
that's why we're here tonight. So it's through Jay, and he's doing a fantastic job on Disability Channel, and also with Mark, as well. And then right now they're trying to do something to the Invictus Games in BC.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they're trying to work around that. But I wouldn't mind attending it. I won't be playing there for sure because I think they've already got their lineup or whatever it is. But I wouldn't mind going out and being a part of it, being attended anyway.
Yeah, that's going to be quite the event. Yeah,
Well, that'll be a huge event. A lot of people, I've been telling people about it down here. A lot of people didn't hear of it, but a lot of people did also. So, and I never heard of it before. Jay would tell me, and he told me.
And for those that don't know what it is, it's basically this massive sporting event for injured and wounded veterans and from across the world. It's like a Paralympics kind of style event that actually Prince Harry's the one that is the guy behind it all.
Yeah, it started by the royal family, didn't it? Or did it not? Yeah, and that's what I
Yes.
understand. Yeah, and Prince Harry was the kingpin apparently,
Mhm.
and that's it's all good, and for the veterans now, and
Yeah.
that's what we try to do. We try to help veterans and injured warriors, what have you.
Mhm.
There's some more. There's Vince Campbell. I talked to him quite a bit. He's sort of Jay's right hand man type person, and he's a real nice guy, and he's also a musician. So I don't know if you had a meeting with him yet or not, but probably you will down the road. He's a very interesting guy to talk to. Very interesting. Him and I met with him. He was down this way, and I met with him. He's from Ontario, but it's quite something. So
Excellent.
getting back to the Navy, when I was in the Navy, like I said, I sailed all over the world, and we did we had a lot. I sailed. One of the highlights of that was we sailed up the Great Lakes of Ontario,
Mm-hmm.
and the Queen Mother came aboard to inspect the ship company, and she was
Oh,
like
wow.
she was standing right in front of me, like here I am. I'm just a kid then, more or less, probably 20 years old, and I didn't know if I was happy or sad or what I was.
That would be quite an experience.
But it was, and she stood right directly in front of me and looked me up. That's what she was doing on board, checking out the ship's company, all that, because we were all lined up. But I happened to be one that she stopped by, so I thought, oh my goodness, that's great. So anyway, that
That
was a
is pretty
highlight.
special.
That it was special, very special actually, and but that's a few of the things that happened. But that was a summer all up to the Great Lakes. It was hot, hot, hot. I mean, holy smokes, it was the hottest summer on record, I think.
Oh my goodness.
But anyway, it made it more interesting. And then we sailed, of course, down to Bermuda, Jamaica, then across the equator, Iceland, Greenland, all over the place. So we
You've
had
seen some beautiful places.
Oh, I've seen some beautiful places. We've been in a few storms. There's been in one storm we didn't even know we were going to make it or not, but the old ship was rolling back and forth. And then she'd go that boat that far and stay, and then she'd come back. So they piped it down. We'd be careful. She might roll over.
Mm.
So that was a big storm, huge. But we made it. Got through that one. But I was and being a fisherman back in the day, I didn't mind it very much. Some of the boys got really sick. I never ever got seasick, never. And I was so happy about that.
Mhm.
And people thought that I was bionic because I didn't get sick.
Got the iron gut there.
Yeah, you can say that. So now tell me a little bit about you. Now you know more, now you know all about me, or pretty much.
Excellent. Well, actually, I was just going to give Denise a chance to come on in here and say a few words. What's on your mind, Denise?
Wow, this was amazing. I'm actually from New York. So next time that you're in the States, Definitely, I would love to see you here in New York again so I can come and see you. This is so amazing, Thank you for your service. Thank you for your music. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for this amazing day. I just am really, really blessed that I was able to come on today. Yeah, this is amazing.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks so much, Diva. Yeah, well, and speaking summer here and the hot weather, we actually are just getting out of our our water ski season. Believe it or not, that's one of our big things. We do a lot of adaptive water skiing, and we've had some massive big events this summer. And coming into the cooler season, and it's already dark out right now. Losing daylight already. So it's time to start switching gears a little bit here and thinking about, how life gets to be seasonal. There's all sorts of changing of the seasons happening here in our corner of the world too. A lot of things to celebrate from this past summer and a lot of things to look forward to and make plans for next summer so we can get even more people out on the water.
I don't know if I'll go up, but I'm not going on the water.
You would be great in the boat, from what I
Oh,
understand.
I'll be all right in the boat. Oh, no problem there. I'll sail all over wherever. But I don't think that when it comes to the water ski part, I don't think I'll be involved in that one. But get a couple of gigs going on. Come up. No, we'll take you in on the tour
Amazing.
if you can.
Yes. So, and I know we have just a couple minutes left here. I was wondering if you want to tell us about, is there any particular song that you've written that you'd like to share a little bit of like the backstory about what any particular one is?
Well, the one that I wrote about the veterans, it's called My Tribute to Veterans.
Okay.
What I did was I went around to the homeless people in the city, and I walked around and I asked them about this, that, and the other thing. Talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
And when I come out of there, I put a song together, My Tribute to Veterans.
Mm.
And when I sang that on the beaches of Utah Beach of France, people really loved it. And right now it's being played on the radio around here and everywhere. I don't know if you have a copy for your radio or not, but Jay's got copies of it.
Awesome.
That is one. And the other one, the big one, is the one I wrote about Hank Snow and the battery radio. That's a timeless song. I've written several songs, and I told you how I come about writing that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then I wrote another one. It's called My Youth Back. Now this one,
Ooh.
yeah, and that's being played in all over in the States. Was played down in there, and how I came about that, we went to visit my wife's mother, who was in the nursing home type thing. And it was a sunny day, and they were all sitting around. And so when we went up, how are you girls today? Well, right. And they said, they told the story about nothing to do anymore. Kids are gone, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Where has the time gone type of thing. So on the way home, I asked Joanne to drive. And I wrote the song on the way home from that. And that song is a really a catchy song. It's over. They play it a lot on the radio down here, and especially in the summertime, because it's just sitting on the front porch with in the swing and all that stuff. So it's in it. So, but anyway, if you want a copy of any of these songs or anything, send me your email and I'll send them to you, or your mail, whatever, if you want to.
Yeah, amazing. That's wonderful. Yeah, this has been such an awesome chance to get to know more about you. So this has been Fraser Newcomb joining us here. And I should ask, is there a website or anything that where people could learn more about you?
Well, they can go on my website if they want to. If you want to put that, it's www.frasernewcombmusic.com, and they can
Perfect.
or phone the Disability Channel. Jay can tell you about it, or Big Records. They all know where to find me.
They all know. Awesome. Well, this has been such a pleasure. Denise, always wonderful to have you with us. Fraser, this has been wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us here. And for all of us with AbilityMKE Now, we thank you.
Highly appreciated.